Free is great, but only if it's useful. Free credit scores from some apps can differ by as much as 100 points from your actual FICO score that 90% of top lenders use when you apply for a credit card, personal loan, car loan, or mortgage. That can mean a higher interest rate, a bigger monthly payment, or worse.
Denied.
MyFICO gives you your actual FICO score, the score lenders use, straight from the company that created it. For the moments that matter, get the score that matters, your FICO score. Visit myfico.com and get started for free today.
And this week, here's how to make old people dislike you. Befriend an elderly person, ingratiate yourself into their social circle. Befriend their other friends and slowly turn them all against each other. Using the skills that you acquired in high school, you can quickly isolate these old elderly idiots from one another and from the families. Help them out, with simple jobs whilst they're in the bathroom, damage the washer in the kitchen taps. Change the settings on the fridges so that they start to freeze over at the back. Swap the glasses for a like-for-like pair that don't actually have their prescription in them to make them think they're losing their sight. Then, obviously, offer to take them to the opticians a couple of weeks later. Fix the tap as well for them. Sort the fridge out. Make yourself irreplaceable to them, all while slowly hiding any letters that come in from the family, deleting the phone numbers from the phones of family members, or just blocking the numbers in general. Set scheduled posts on their Facebook accounts of potentially racist reading material, anything you can think of, and before you know it, you've got yourself an army of malleable, isolated elderly people that can be coerced into signing their homes, cars and life savings over to you. Start an old folks home, but have it very cheap. That way lots of people will sign up for it, so you're always going to have a steady supply of customers. And then run it like a subscription service. As long as it's already all in the contract they've signed, it might be lawful. Make the contract as thick as a dictionary, like a good 400 or 500 pages. Then you can have the residents sign up for phone calls, bread, butter, independently, television time. Chess pieces, mate, could be earned once a week with a piece that gets left on the drawer every Monday morning alongside a pamphlet describing the significance of the piece itself. Initially, for 99 pence, but thereafter every piece is £4.50 for the next 31 weeks. Then use the board, as a way to get a little bit more money out of them and charge them 20 pence a game. Which, obviously, be fair, they can split that between them for 10p each, or they can be like loser pays, like when you play pool with mates. Cheeky little advert about halfway through, Did you know that I've got a Redbubble and all that where you can buy yourself little stickers for your laptop or your skateboard or something, or shirts as well? Even if you felt, especially weird, you could get a shower curtain with my face on it about 150 times. Obviously, I know no one wants that, but you got to have something different to offer, haven't you, that other people haven't got. Anyway, let's crack on with the show. Be personally responsible for the invention of a new measurement system, one that uses terms that they're already familiar with, such as ounces, gallons and inches, except inches are now a measurement of time. Gallons is the overall name of the system, as in it's 28 grams in metric, it's an ounce in imperial, and it's a metre in gallons. Randomise all the TV channels on the channels, on the TV guide. The number of the station, you could set it so it changes every 4.5 days. Currently, Channel 4 is on Channel 4, but imagine their confusion if Channel 4 could be on Channel 93 and on Channel 15 within the same week, all while still being called Channel 4. Invent a TV gun replacement, one that looks and acts like a computer mouse, but a gaming computer mouse that is actually voice activated and uses watch batteries instead of AAA's. Whenever you see an elderly person entering a taxi, hop in and ask the driver if he minds taking you to the airport before dropping them off, and tell them, don't worry, it's alright, I'm just in a rush, I'll pay for the journey. Then get out at the airport paying for the journey to the airport, but not for their trip home. Taxi drivers will love this too. If you can get a lot of people to start doing this as like a movement, you could just wait for the next person, mate, who jumps out of the next cab and replace them and ask them to take you home with that person's old person, and all whilst hearing the old person complain about the previous passenger who's just done it to them. When they get out, just as they're getting out of the door, then you can tell them that you've just done the exact same thing as their previous co-inhabitant of the taxi did, and that they're too old to understand the importance of whatever fucking 4-syllable word you can think of in the moment off the top of your head. Just call it that, then just shake your head at them and look away out the window. Ask them if they'd like help carrying their handbag. Just walking down the street, look at an old woman in the eye and be like, "Excuse me, love, do you want some help carrying our handbag?" Maybe frown a little as you say it, get a little bit of your, tense your chest muscles. Offer to cut the grass. Then, at the end of the month, invoice them for the work. If you know one old person that is particularly ill, you could keep leaving messages on their answer machine, knowing that they're going to listen to it every day just in case a hospital or doctor has left them a message. Pick out a handful of old people in a community, and every time you walk past them, just make eye contact with them as you approach. Then just look as disappointed as possible in them and noticeably shake your head as they approach and look to the ground. And that's the end of this week's Here's How.